Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
With the Bucks have clinched a top 6 spot, so don't have that to worry that they wouldn't fall in the play-in round. So they're going to be in the top 6. Just remains to be seen whether they're going to be a 5, whether they're going to be a 6, or could they somehow still catch the Pacers. Remember, they do hold the tiebreaker against the Pacers, so they got that going for them, which is nice. But they're going to need some help. They got to take care of their business, but they're going to need some help too. So, but just 4 games left to go here for the Bucks. So, I mean, it kind of looks like they're probably going to be the 5th seed. If I were to wager a guess right now, I think they would probably be the 5th seed, but we've seen some weirder things happen here. If you're doing a little bit of a scoreboard watching, if you will, the Pacers, their remaining schedule coming up here, if you're trying to see if the Bucks have a shot to catch them. They got the Wizards tomorrow, so it's like Pacers did beat the Nuggets the other day, so that was kind of like a kick in the you-know-what. But they got the Wizards, and then they finish up a couple games against the Cavs. So after that, they got the Cavs, and they've got Orlando. Then they got the Cavs again, but Cavs might have the top seed locked up by that time, and they may elect to rest some guys to get ready for their playoff series. So you factor that in. That's why I feel like it's probably the 5th seed for the Bucks, and especially considering when you see the Pistons schedule. So the Pistons have the Kings tonight, and then they have the Knicks, and then they finish up their last 2 games with the Bucks. Bucks, we know their schedule. They got a tough one coming up tomorrow. They'll be at home taking on the Timberwolves. So Timberwolves, they're playing for some positioning too in the playoffs. But the Timberwolves, then they're home against the Pelicans, and then at Detroit and finish up against Detroit. So really, I mean, the Bucks may not be in a position. We'll see how it all kind of plays out here. But the Bucks may not be in a position for those final 2 games against the Pistons to maybe rest some guys, specifically Giannis. Because if they become must-win games in terms of a 5 or a 6 seed, you know, they're probably going to have to play Giannis. We'll see, but that's kind of what's at stake here a little bit. So, but we're going to get Bobby Portis. He's eligible to come back tomorrow, so that's a positive to get him back into the rotation, provide a little bit more depth. Got to imagine he's pretty healthy. Probably got to knock off some rust when it comes to Bobby Portis, but get him as much playing time. They may ease him on in a little bit just because he's missed quite a bit of time, but I'd play him these next 4 games to try to knock off that rust and make sure he's ready to go when it comes to the postseason. Because if he's, I got to imagine, unless he's dealing with something, I got to imagine he's 100% or close to 100%. I mean, he's got to be the healthiest of anybody on this Bucks roster right now. And easily the most well-rested of this roster. So if the Bucks, once they get to the postseason, if they have any aspirations to make a deep run or to surprise some people, Bobby Portis might be a key player in that. Because we know when he's on, he could be a big-time factor. But he's got to be the healthiest, most well-rested person within this Bucks team. So I look at him as being a big key for the Bucks if they want any chance of making a deep run into this postseason. So, you know, it's still up in the air when it comes to Damian Lillard and whether he's going to be available for the postseason. Now, Shams, again, the other day, said that Damian Lillard is hopeful to get cleared in the next week or week and a half to go full go and then resume basketball for games for the Bucks. That's still the hope, but I guess I'm not holding my breath I still maybe am a little skeptical about Dame's chances to return for the postseason, just because everything we're hearing is positive. But I don't want to count on it, I guess. And maybe that's just, me not setting myself up for disappointment or for some high expectations. Like, okay, yeah, Dame's coming back. He's going to be back. We're going to get Dame back. We're going to get Bobby Portis back. Yep, we're the 5th seed, but we're going to surprise some people. We're going to go on a little bit of a run. We're going to be that dangerous team that nobody wants to play in the postseason. Maybe that's part of it, is that I don't want to set myself up for that. So I'm keeping that in check. I'm keeping my expectations in check here a little bit, even though everything that we have heard about Dame and his progress has been positive. But I'm excited to get Bobby Portis back, because you throw him in there. We haven't really seen him pairing up with Kyle Kuzma and how that rotation is going to work, right? I mean, we really haven't seen that so far. So I'm curious to see how that rotation is going to work out with him and Kuzma on the floor. Could they be on the floor at the same time? Who knows? But I would imagine, with him coming back, and if the Bucks have maybe something wrapped up in the final game or two, maybe it gives Brook Lopez a little bit of a breather and such. But good to finally get Bobby back starting tomorrow. So